The sound that finally flipped the switch in my head wasn't a shout or a threat or even one of those smug HOA letters with fake-friendly wording. It was the crunch. That slow, deliberate crunch of tires sinking into grass I'd spent years obsessing over like it was the last thing in my life I could still keep right. I stood there with my coffee going cold, watching her SUV climb my curb like it belonged there, and I remember thinking, wow, this is really happening again, 47 times. And yeah, that's the night I realized this was either going to end with me swallowing it forever or me finally doing something that made everyone uncomfortable, including myself. My name's Grant, early 60s, retired mechanical engineer, the kind of guy who still straightens picture frames when he walks past them and keeps old tools because they still work. My wife June and I moved into Cedar Ridge almost 20 years ago, back when retirement felt like this calm, well-earned chapter where things finally slowed down. Corner lot, extra bit of yard, nothing flashy, but it was ours. And after the layoffs, the shrinking pension, the diabetes diagnosis, and June starting to forget small things that shouldn't be forgotten, that yard became more than grass. It became control. It became proof I could still take something messy and make it precise. Saturday mornings, mower lines, perfect edges, sharp watering, just enough but not too much. You know what I mean. When the rest of your world feels like it's slipping, you hold on to whatever still listens when you try to fix it. Then there was Vanessa, HOA president, perfect hair, perfect SUV clipboard, always tucked under her arm like it was a badge. The type of woman who said community standards the way some people say because I said so. Her shortcut ran straight across my lawn. If she cut through my yard, she saved herself a short walk from the parking lot to the community center. 10 feet instead of 50 yards. And the first time, honestly, I thought it was an accident. I walked out, waved, tried to be polite. She smiled at me like I was a kid asking a silly question and said, "I'm handling HOA business, Grant. Your grass will grow back." Then she walked away. Yeah, that happened. By the 10th time, it wasn't confusion anymore, it was humiliation. I asked again, calm, direct, "Please stop driving on my lawn. You're destroying it." She sighed like I was exhausting her patience and said, "You're being dramatic. This is efficient." That word efficient, it stuck with me, because what she meant was her time mattered more than my property, my work, my boundaries. And she knew exactly how to say it without sounding outright cruel, which somehow made it worse. So I tried reasonable solutions. Decorative rope barrier, clean posts, white rope, nothing aggressive. Measured, aligned, tasteful. I stood back and thought, okay, this is it. She'll get the hint. 3 days later, I heard the snap from my garage. Looked up and watched her SUV push straight through it like it was fishing line posts, tipping over rope, dragging through mud. She didn't slow down, didn't look back, just rolled on like she was proving a point. That night, I stood in my garage staring at my tools on the wall, hands shaking a little, not from anger exactly, but from that quiet, sick feeling you get when you realize someone's doing this because they can. June came out slippers and all and asked if I was okay. I said I was. I wasn't lying, but I wasn't telling the whole truth either. Something had shifted. Engineers don't explode. We calculate. We step back and look at the system. The HOA letter showed up the next morning. Unauthorized barrier, emergency access hazard, 72 hours or fines. Emergency access like a fire truck was planning to plow through my flower bed. I pulled the barrier down the same day because I wasn't interested in fighting that battle yet. The fine still came. She'd taken a photo early that morning and claimed I was late. $150, money we didn't have to spare. I paid it, but I didn't forget it. That's when I started documenting dates, times, photos, weather, tire rut depth, angle of entry, and that's when I noticed the pattern. Same path, same curve, same stopping point every single time. Engineers love patterns. Patterns turn chaos into math. I tried signs next. Official-looking metal signs. Private property, no vehicle access. Checked the wording. Installed them along her path. She hit them like they weren't there. Bent metal. Snapped posts. And then she escalated. Brought catering vans, heavy vans, diesel engines chewing my lawn into something that looked like a construction site. I heard the sprinkler line crack underground. That sound. You don't forget it. The next letter accused me of hostile signage and included an invoice charging me for landscaping damage she caused. I read it 3 times. June looked at my face and asked a question that still sticks with me. When someone kept sabotaging your systems at work, what did you do? I said. You document it, you design around it, and you let them make a mistake big enough they can't hide. She nodded and said, so what mistake is she going to make? That question changed everything. I called my insurance company, the county clerk, and my neighbor's nephew, a journalism student who loved digging into paperwork. And then Vanessa made her biggest move yet, a charity gala, big one. She posted a notice on my door stating my yard was designated overflow parking under emergency provisions. Emergency provisions. For a fundraiser. I checked the bylaws. The section she cited was for snow removal. She'd just made it up. Saturday came. Clear weather, cars everywhere, valets directing luxury vehicles straight onto my lawn like it was planned that way. 50+ cars. My grass didn't stand a chance. And then the local news showed up. Cameras, smiles, Vanessa posing like a saint. My destroyed yard right there in the background like proof of community cooperation. I stood behind my blinds and felt something go very quiet inside me. The damage estimate came back over $8,000. Insurance covered part, the rest was on us. I stared at the number, thinking about June's care, our savings, and the fact she'd do this again if nothing stopped her. That's when the kid came back with documents that made my stomach drop. HOA filings, tax records, insurance claims, patterns, double dipping, claims filed for damage tied to charity events, then tax deductions claimed as if she personally paid for repairs, money routed through an LLC tied to her name, contractors that didn't even operate locally. It wasn't bullying anymore, it was a scheme. So I called federal investigators, not because I wanted revenge, but because once you see something like that, you can't unsee it. And because I realized she wasn't powerful, she was just used to no one pushing back. The expanding foam idea came from a rabbit hole. I was researching tire marking documentation techniques and stumbled onto a forum talking about foam bonding to rubber. Expands fast, hardens, makes a vehicle immobile without serious work. And I thought, what if the problem isn't stopping her from driving across my lawn? What if it's making her trespass undeniable in public with witnesses? I planned it like everything else. Measurements, placement, 1 can, not 10. 1. Hidden beneath a thin layer of sod, exactly where her tire always stopped. Neighbors helped with camera angles. Statements. We were done being quiet. The night of the next event, the news cameras were back. Guests arriving. Valets guiding cars. June stood beside me and asked if I was sure. I said yes. Right on time, Vanessa's SUV rolled in, followed the same path, stopped at the same point. The tire hit the canister and yellow foam erupted upward, wrapping the wheel, hardening fast. She slammed the brakes, jumped out heels, sinking into the grass, screaming toward my house. Phones came out. Cameras turned. I walked out calm and said loud enough for everyone, "That's 1 can of expanding foam. You've driven across my lawn 47 times, caused thousands in damage, filed paperwork like it was your personal business. Now your car stays until the damage gets paid for." She yelled about lawsuits, vandalism, instability. But when people plan, they don't argue. They present facts. The mood shifted. Introductions were made. Questions were asked. The tow truck took hours. Solvents, cutting tools. Her SUV sat there stuck on camera in front of everyone she'd pushed around for years. The foam didn't end her. The spotlight did. Audits followed. Board suspension. Neighbors finally speaking up. My lawn got restored better than before. And I keep hearing people